Alright, in today's video, I'm going to show you how I would go about losing 50 pounds in 3 months if I had to do it all over again. Yes, this is something I've done before, but let's get into it because I don't want to waste your time. This is going to be the complete roadmap in order for you to lose the weight that you want to lose. And I did this as a complete degenerate, so that means you can do it too. Let's start out with who I am and why you should listen to me. My name is Parker Dixon, online fitness coach, NASM certified. Who cares? What really matters is that I'm a certified fat ass at heart. I love food and I can demolish 4,000 calories in one meal. Easy work. I also was an ex-fat ass. I used to be a fat ass, and we'll get into that. Now I've been training for 9+ years in weight training, nutrition, blah, blah, blah. Let's get into the real reason why you should listen to me. I went from 230 pounds at 5'9", 5'10", to 175 pounds, pretty jacked. These are also old photos, so we're in even a more shredded state now. But as you can see, I went from man titties to pecs, so let's get into how I did this. The big key for me in literally everything I do in life is systems. I use simple systems to get me where I'm at today. This video is going to be a little bit slower, but if you don't have the patience for this video, then you simply don't have the patience to lose weight. Fat loss is a process, it's a marathon, we all know this, and if you don't have any ounce of patience, just a little bit of patience to watch a 10-20 minute video in order for you to learn this, then you're never going to know the information that you need to in order to lose that weight. So back to what I was saying though, fat loss does not have to be miserable. I did this while still eating Chick-fil-A, Chipotle. Hell, I would even eat Five Guys once or twice a month and get a burger, milkshake, fries, whatever I wanted. I would still go out and drink 1 to 2 times a week. Was I going out 4 or 5 times a week? No. But you can still go out 1, maybe 2 times a week. This is also while working 50 hours a week and building a business and maintaining a good social life. As you can see here, I'm drinking, having beers with some disco lady out in the Dominican Republic. That just goes to show that you can still drink, still have fun, and still lose weight, still lose fat. So let's actually dive into it. Chapter 1, start simple, build from there. When I was 230 pounds, I would always try to lose weight. I would watch some stupid motivational video at 2 in the morning on YouTube and decide that, yeah, now on, I'm just going to be sick and be like David Goggins and wake up at 5 in the morning and go on a run and then work out and then go make $1 million. I'm not David Goggins. Most likely you're not David Goggins. So we can't do what David Goggins would do. We can't wake up at 5 a.m. We can't go out and do a 3-hour workout and then go run afterwards and then only eat chicken, broccoli, rice. This is something that David had to build up to. This is something that I had to build up to. I'm not even near his level though. And it's just going to take time for you to be as disciplined as you want to be. You can't go from 0 to 100 overnight and expect to maintain that for a long duration of time. Forcing yourself to run 50+ miles a week is not going to cut it, and it's certainly not what I did. So please, for the love of donuts, do not try to 180 your life overnight. Last thing I'll say about this, like I was saying, you don't have to eat only chicken, broccoli, and rice. You don't have to only eat 1,000 calories. You don't have to work out 17 hours a week and go on runs. All of this stuff actually will slow your progress down. Overtraining, not getting enough nutrition, not getting enough sleep are all things that are going to hinder your progress extremely. Like I said, I was still drinking. I was still eating fast food. And I know you can do this because I did it myself. So now let's actually dive into the nitty-gritty of how I did this. And remember, I'm about to give you some tips. Please implement them over a couple days, over a couple weeks. Do not try to implement all of them overnight because that's just not going to be sustainable. You are not David Goggins, so use that to your advantage. But let's dive in. Step 1, y'all knew I was going to say this. You have to increase your protein intake. I like to tell my clients 1 gram per pound of body weight just to make sure we're getting enough protein. Now, for example, if you're 200 pounds, eat 200 grams of protein. Now, one thing I want to say about this, don't shit yourself if you're 200 pounds and you only ate 170, 180 grams of protein in your day. That is still enough. Try to stay within a 30 gram range of your goal. So if you're 200 pounds, if you eat 170, 180 at the end of the day, That's okay. You're going to live. You're still going to make progress. You're going to be fine. The biggest tip I can give you for this, because I know it can be difficult at first, when you're first trying to eat more, when you're first starting to eat more protein, you look at your entire day and think, how in the hell am I going to eat this much protein? Especially for my guys that are like 250, 300 pounds. They're like, how in the hell am I going to do this? Trust me, you get used to it. After like 3 months, you don't even think about it anymore. I easily get 210, 250 grams of protein in my day, and I don't even think about it. And I don't even need that much either. I'm only 180 pounds right now. But the biggest tip I can give you is to front load your protein in your day. Prime example right here. I got 4 eggs, chicken sausage, and cottage cheese. I forgot the exact macros on this, but it's like 80 grams of protein. So now, for the rest of my day, I just have to hit 100 more grams of protein in 3 more meals. A little over 30 grams per meal. That's easy as hell. So that's my biggest tip. Try to fit in a majority of your protein in your breakfast. As well as this, for me, gives me sustained energy throughout the day, and I just feel really good throughout the day. Next, now that you're eating consistently enough protein in your day, after 2 weeks of just doing that, you're going to see a little bit of a result. Your muscles may pop out a little more. You may shred a little bit of fat, whatever. We're going to go to a TDEE calculator to find your maintenance calories. Oh, Parker, what are my maintenance calories? We're going to get into that. So, you're going to come to any page. It doesn't matter what TDE calculator you pick. They all work the same. So, let's say I'm 25. Let's say I'm 250 pounds and I'm 5'9", and I work a shitty office job. It's going to tell me, okay, maintain where you're at right now, the 250 pounds. You're going to need to eat 2,500 calories. Now you're probably thinking, Parker, I don't want to maintain where I'm at. I want to lose weight. Okay, we're going to get into that. So if you're eating enough protein and you're eating at your maintenance calories, you should start to see a little bit of progress. It's not going to be anything crazy, but you are going to see a little bit. So I want you to eat at your maintenance calories for 2 weeks while doing these other steps. Then, after those 2 weeks, we're going to decrease our calories by 200. So if you were at that 2,500, we're going to decrease to 2,300. We're going to eat at 2,300 or whatever your calorie goal is for 2 weeks. Then after those 2 weeks, we're going to decrease by another 200. Now down to 2,100. Once you are in a 600 calorie deficit, that is the max I want you to go. And that is the max you need to go. Anything really below a 500 calorie deficit is going to start to play with your hormones, which are vital for fat loss. I see far too many guys eating 1,000 calories when they're 6'5", and they eat like 20 grams of fat in a day, and they think that's what's going to help them lose weight. All that is doing is plummeting your testosterone and absolutely killing any progress that you could be making. I'm not going to get too deep into this, but think of it like your body needs at least something to make progress. If you don't give it anything, it's not going to be able to make any progress. So for another example, let's say your maintenance is 3,000 calories. Eat at that for 2 weeks, bump it down to 2,800 calories. Eat at that for 2 more weeks, bump it down to 2,600 calories, and then stop there completely. I don't care if it's 7 more weeks on this cut you're doing, keep it at that amount. Next, we're going to download what's called MyFitnessPal. Some of you already may know what this is, some of you don't. This is, in my opinion, the best calorie, protein, macro tracking app on the market. It's free. There is a paid version if you want it, but you really don't need it. I don't have the paid version. But the reason I'm telling you to get this is because people naturally suck at tracking calories, even people who are advanced. I'm not saying you have to track everything down to the exact gram like some bodybuilders do, but just have a rough estimate of what you're getting in your day. This is what the app looks like. This is what the interface will look like whenever you're looking at your macros. I'm not going to dive too far down into this because it's pretty self-explanatory, but I will say, tip, tracking is far easier when you meal prep because you only have to track that one time. Then you know exactly, okay, hey, I know exactly what's in this meal. I can just move on. This, along with the protein, are two things that start hard but become so easy over time. Eating enough protein and tracking my food or I don't even think about it. It is the easiest thing ever because I've been doing it for so long. I promise you, give it 3 to 4 months and you're going to be in the same boat. It's going to be the easiest thing and you're going to realize how dumb you felt that you thought this was hard. I'm saying all this assuming that you're weight training or at least trying already. If you're not, let's start weight training 30 minutes 3 times a week. Yes, this is enough. When I was starting out, and I see people do this all the time, they think, okay, I'm going to go to the gym 5, 6, 7 days a week and weight train and go hard too. That's dumb. Don't do that. When you're a beginner, less is more. So if you're doing 6 to 7 days a week, your body just simply cannot recover and you're not going to make the progress that you want to. As well as it's not sustainable, it's not maintainable, and that's what we're going for because fat loss is a marathon. Remember this. So everything we do needs to be sustainable. So we're going to start at 30 minutes 3 times a week and we're going to build from there. Maybe go to an hour 3 times a week or maybe 45 minutes 4 times a week. But for the first 3 months, we're going to start at 30 minutes 3 times a week. Now, these 30 minutes should be very intense, though. You should be hitting failure on your lifts, lifting really heavy. You should be moving pretty fast. You can shoot me a DM on Instagram. I set up routines for people. If you don't want to build one yourself or if you just don't know what you're doing. Like I was saying, though, please avoid the mistake that I used to make of going from just 0 days in the gym a week to just 6 and expect you to just maintain it for the rest of your life. Because I promise you, for 99.9% of you, that's not going to be sustainable and it's not going to happen. And no, you're probably not that 0.1%. Lastly, I love this tip because it's so easy. And I truly believe this is one of the biggest influences on my mood. Just walk for 30 minutes after work or after school if you're in school, and then walk for 1 hour every weekend. So 1 hour on Saturday, 1 hour on Sunday. This is the big tip I can give you. Do this outside with no phone and no music. And I know you're thinking, Parker, what the fuck? You little hippie weirdo. But it's something that I can't explain. I've looked into the science behind it. There is science behind it, but I'm not going to dive into it. Just know that walking outside, getting some sunlight, even if it's not sunny, overcast works, whatever, and with no distractions, no TikTok, no Instagram, no music, no anything. You just have to listen to nature. There truly is something about it. I'm not trying to sound like a hippie, but I could have the worst day ever at work, come home, walk for 30 minutes outside, get some sunlight, listen to the air, the birds, whatever. I come back and it's not a sense of just overwhelming joy. That's not what it is. But you do come back to your house or apartment or whatever with this feeling of, okay, I can handle whatever is thrown at me. It's almost like you get an outside perspective. That's all I'm going to say about that. Test it out for yourself. But the goal with this is to get 10,000 steps in a day. Now, that's after a month or two of doing this. When we're first starting out, just getting 5, 6, 7, 8,000 is okay. Remember, we're trying to be sustainable. So we're going to start slow, start simple, and build. So if you want to start at 5K steps a day, that's your goal. Start there for 1 week. Next week, do 6K. Next week, do 7K, and slowly build. Chapter 3, building systems for sustainability. I'm not going to teach you exactly how to build systems in your specific life because I can't do that over video. This is something I do in my one-on-one coaching. And this is something that I want to dive into as a topic for one of my future videos, but I can give you a few examples so you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. The first one is one that I always preach. Plan your day ahead the night before. The reason this is so important is because often when we end up procrastinating or we find ourselves 3 hours deep onto TikTok or Instagram or some Reddit rabbit hole is because we finish a task. And it could be a simple task like making and eating breakfast, let's say. After that, you don't know exactly what you need to do. You have an idea, like, okay, maybe to go to work, or okay, I need to take the kids to school, or okay, I need to knock out some homework. You have an idea, but you don't have a specific game plan. And so our mind automatically wants to push it off. So we go and procrastinate. We find comfort in something easy and cheap. When you schedule plan roughly hour by hour, you are giving your brain no way out, if that makes sense. It can't avoid the work because it knows what it has to do. I've been really fortunate enough to know many financially wealthy people in my life. And every single one of them always preaches to me the importance of planning their day. They either do it the night before or the first thing in the morning of. So I laid out an example of what my notes would look like in my phone if I was planning out my schedule hour by hour. I do this in a physical notebook, but I know some of y'all are lazy and want to do it in your phone, so I did it this way. So we start over here. Where's my mouse? We start over here. Okay, this is what your schedule may look like roughly. Obviously, this is not what your schedule looks like exactly. I know that, but I couldn't make one for you specifically. So let's say you wake up, you commute to work, lunch break, work, commute, make dinner, eat, Netflix, sleep. That's what a lot of you do. Now, what I want you to do is take schedule, write it hour by hour under that current schedule you have, and be brutally honest with yourself with what it looks like. Write the top 3 things you want to get done for that day. So let's say for this example, you have a workout you want to do, you want to finish a presentation that you need to get done for work, and you want to spend some time with your kids. Now we're going to look back at our schedule and see, okay, where can I implement these 3 things? So right here, we fit our workout in after our commute home. For this example, I would commute directly to the gym instead of going home and then the gym. So we commuted straight from work to the gym. We did our presentation, we finished it up while we're on lunch. And then here we spent time with the kids after we made dinner coming back from the gym. So then now you have this schedule written out, right? Now on the actual day, as you go through it, if you have a physical notebook, you can cross it out or check it off. In your phone, you can put a little emoji, check mark, or you can actually cross it off too. But just cross it off as you go. I can't tell you how helpful this little dopamine hit is throughout your day. When you get done with that work session and you're about to go on lunch, and something about just a little cross off just gives me just enough motivation, just enough dopamine to want to go to the next task, to want to do more work. So play around with this, figure out what works for you, but do some form of planning your day ahead. Another example, this is one that I use along with the schedule planning. I use that one as well. Move your alarm across the room so you have to actually get up. When I was a fat, lazy piece of shit, I would have an alarm for, let's say, 7 a.m. to go work out. And that's a reasonable time for me to wake up. I would set this alarm, of course, after watching my 2 a.m. motivational David Goggins video. And the motivation is dead. There was no discipline built at that time. So you best believe I didn't even open my eyes. I just reached over, clicked the snooze button, or just clicked it off and went back to bed. The biggest thing you can do, especially on weekends as well, is putting your alarm, so for me it's my phone, across the room so I have to physically get up to turn it off. That way it doesn't matter if you have no motivation. It doesn't matter if you have no discipline. It's just so damn annoying you have to get up to go turn it off. Another example, using visual triggers to acquire a habit you want. So I put a picture of a book on a bed here for a reason. And I'm going to use this example. Many of you, myself included, back in the day, want to read more. For me though, I would always get off work, I would go work out, I would make a meal, then I'd get distracted on YouTube or whatever, and then I'd just go to sleep. I'd wake up the next day and be like, oh shit, I forgot to read. That's because I didn't use visual triggers, because I'm a very forgetful person. So I need visual triggers, I need alarms on my phones in order to remember the things I need to do. So how can we use visual triggers in our life to help ourselves out? We can. So for this example of reading, we're going to put a book on our bed as soon as we leave for work so that when we get home, we work out, we do whatever. When it's time to go to bed, we see that book and we know, oh shit, I got to read. Let's say you want to get into running. When you get home, you put your running shoes on the kitchen table where you cannot miss them. So you see them and you think, okay, I got to run. For me, another one I use, I put my meal prep containers out on the kitchen counter every Saturday night. I know when I wake up Sunday morning, I'm going to forget about it. So I see those, I go, oh shit, I need to go to the grocery store, come back, and I meal prep. So just sit down for 5 minutes and think about how can I use visual triggers in my life to acquire the habits that I want. I have a visual trigger right here. Look, this big ass tub of water. I carry this thing around everywhere. You think, look how big it is. It's as big as my head. You think if I see this thing, I'm not going to think, oh shit, I need to drink some water? Come on. Fucking causes an earthquake when I put it down. Next one. Now we're getting into the big ones that I really love. These last two. First one. Setting a daily routine in your Google Calendar for all your days and having oh my gosh, I can't speak. Having notifications on your phone for the Google Calendar. So I just got one right now, actually. So every day is not going to be the same. We all know that. But with Google Calendar, it's cool if you just play around with it for a little bit. You can, this is not my Google Calendar. It's not this booked and crazy, but I leave space for myself. But there's just an example. You can set a daily routine for each day. So let's say, for me, my weekdays are all the same, but my weekends are a little bit different. Well, I can change it for my weekends. And then I can't forget it because one, whenever I open my phone, I have a massive widget on it saying the next thing I need to do, as well as I have notifications that will not leave my phone unless I swipe them away. So I always know, this goes back to the schedule planning. I always know what's coming next, what to do next, and there's no way for me to forget it because I have notifications set. Don't go too crazy with this where you are just like booked out every 5 minutes you're doing something new. Please don't do that. But do roughly like hour by hour. So for me, it's like booked out part right here on my weekdays where it's just work. It's 7 to 5. It's just work. I'm not going to be like, meditate and like my morning routine. It's literally just wake up, hydrate, shower, leave for work. Like that's literally, I pack my breakfast and lunch and that's it. I'm not booking out every 5 minutes, shower, meditate, journal, stretch, workout. Like give yourself room here because that's what makes it sustainable. But this is a huge hack in staying consistent with what you want to do. Last one. This is one I promise you've never heard of before. I've never heard it from anyone else. But I'm a big believer in programming your mindset. So I always give the example of reading a self-improvement book. You can read a self-improvement book and you can read it every night. You can finish the book in a week and you're going to put it down and be like, okay, my life's not any different at all. And I don't think differently at all. That was kind of just stupid. Why did I read that? But if you read 40 self-improvement books in a year, let's say 40, 50, 60 self-improvement books, I promise you, your mindset on life, on money, on self-improvement, on working out, whatever, is going to be different. The reason for this is because you are what you consume. You programmed your mind with the things that you consumed to now have new beliefs in your life. So whenever I go follow meme pages on Instagram, or whenever I go dive into a meme group chat from my college friends, I'm just diving into brain rotting, brain dead content that is not pushing me to where I want to be. And it's not programming my mind to be the person that I want to be. It's just pure entertainment and it's pure distraction. And if anything, it's moving me backwards. So what I recommend people do, I'm not one of those freak psychos that's saying delete your Instagram, go completely cold turkey on social media, blah, blah. What I am saying is I think you should make a burner account on Instagram and avoid signing into your personal one. On this burner, you are going to follow a maximum. You cannot follow any more than 10 people. And these 10 people are people that you need to wish to be like. So it could be whatever you want to do. Michael Jordan, Messi, whatever. Doesn't matter. But 10 people that you want to be like. The reason for this is because you're only going to consume their content. And with that, you are going to end up programming your mind whenever you get bored. Because look, there are times when just like Instagram is nice. Okay, if you're sitting in a doctor's office, I'm not going to go work on some document for work or coaching or whatever, There are times when entertainment is just nice to have. So I'm not saying get rid of Instagram. But when you sit there, you need that little dopamine hit maybe. You need to just get some cheap entertainment real quick. You go to Instagram. Now when we go to Instagram, it's going to be beneficial because you're programming your mind because you're consuming the content of people that you want to be like. I know this may sound like some frou-frou, haha, whatever shit, but it is something that truly, truly works. And I've seen it truly work in my life and others' lives as well. Now you see the check mark on Instagram, because I don't think if you do Instagram my way, I don't think it's that bad. TikTok, you do have to delete. I'm going to be a freak about that. It's a pure waste of time. It's pure entertainment. I post stuff on there just to get more attention, but besides that, you'll never catch me using it. It's a pure waste of time, and it's literally made to keep you addicted, keep you hooked, and I'm just a pure TikTok hater. So, with that being said, we are now to the end. This is the most simple way to lay out all the special little tips I can give you to lose the fat. While this is the most simple way I could put things, especially with all the little simple tips that I do and little, tricky the Instagram thing or whatever, this is also all you need to know. You don't need to know anything else than this. If you just follow this for a year, you'd probably have a six-pack. No joke. But at the end of the day, I can't want this for you. Your wife, your husband can't want this for you. Your kids, your friends can't want it for you. It's something you have to want yourself. And yeah, you may be motivated after watching this video, or you may be watching this right after you watched a 2 a.m. David Goggins video. You may be fired up. But ask yourself, is this something I'm truly going to want when I wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning and I feel like shit? I'm tired as hell. Am I going to want it then? Am I going to want it when I just got off of work and now it's time to go work out and lift heavy ass weight for a whole 30 minutes, for a whole hour? Am I going to want it then? Is this something I'm going to want when maybe I have to sacrifice a little bit of time with my friends in order to get to the goals that I want to be at? If you can answer yes to those questions, then it's time to make a change in your life. That's it for this video. I'm going to be posting a lot more on this YouTube channel. I really want to grow it, see what we can do with this. So if you enjoyed this, subscribe, leave a comment, like, whatever you would do. Leave a dislike. I don't give a shit. But I hope this helped at least one person, and be expecting more of me from the future. Love you guys. See ya.